Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Some God of War Ragnarok game to play against a couple of the Berserkers. Not the most annoying Berserkers, that's for sure. But definitely a couple of them. I played against these guys pretty late in the game. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything for you here, but this will be a little mini review, right? As games become so perfect, they face more criticism over time. And I think the more popular a game, the more hype is behind a game, the more criticism it takes, the more haters come out, right? There's a lot of purists for God of War. For so long, Kratos was the God of War. He was a murderer, relentless, unstoppable, right? Destroyed the Olympus gods of Olympus. Destroyed all of them easily, right? Without remorse. Some of them unnecessarily died. Some of them he killed because he didn't like them, or because they simply got in his way. Like when he ripped the rings off of, I think, Icarus, was it? You didn't have to kill that dude, right? Murdered him anyway. He's like, I'm gonna take your wings, dude. You're annoying me, right? If you haven't had a chance to go play those old God of Wars, go play them, right? If you can't stand 1 and 2, you know, or the other one, I can't remember the name of that one. When he fights his sisters or something. I think that's the second one. Go play the third one. It's remastered for PlayStation on the PlayStation Store. Play it. It's good. It's still fun. Still looks good, I think. You know? But, really big change. And God of War 2018 just hit different than this because Kratos still didn't care. He was barely holding in there, right? He really wanted to fuck dudes up a lot. But he was like, man, my son's watching, you know? But you really only got 2 ways you can go with a character like Kratos, right? You can either keep him brutally violent, right? Anti-hero. Kratos was always an anti-hero, you know? He always was. Why did they change him? Well, that's because you only really have 2 options. You either keep him the same, brutal, violent, murdering psychopath that Kratos was, or you make him softer, right? You make him weaker. You make him more vulnerable, emotional, and human. And that's really the only 2 ways you can go. Especially when you have a son. Imagine Kratos, the ghost of Sparta. Right? Imagine him with Atreus in like his first fight with Thor or anybody else. He wouldn't have stopped. He would have been like, nuh-uh, come here. He would have killed Odin and Thor. You know, but they were cocky. They didn't know who they were dealing with. Kratos did. And he knew, right? And Kratos really carried this game on his shoulders. The history and the power behind him and the story. But Kratos is God of War is a 4-piece, or forefront for Sony. It's in the front. It's one of the leading games for Sony, for PlayStation. And like Ratchet and Clank or The Last of Us, you know, or how Killzone was, or Resistance. God of War had to be good. And though I don't appreciate the softer Kratos, because just like games like Prototype, I like my violence. I'm a man, right? I like violence. I like my characters to be overly masculine, powerful, strong. You know? Certain games have an emotional thing, but it just didn't feel right for me playing with Kratos this way, right? It felt odd at some points when he was like sad, emotional Kratos, God of emotions, more like it, right? So, but for the story's sake, I thought it was good. And I'm hoping that after what's transpired in this game, he goes back to Olympus, right? That's what I hope happens. It would only make sense for him to go back. You know, after the destruction and chaos that's still there, he should go back. Then maybe there's a new enemy. And that's what I'm hoping for. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to happen in this game moving forward. What would you like to see from the next God of War? Would you like to see him go back to Olympus? Would you like to see him stay here and rebuild? Solve other problems? Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Take it easy.